It's a really interesting study, and it is absolutely paving the way for us to be able to go safely further later.
Isn't that nice? We spoke to you and covered you, of course, during your 6 months, 3 months as commander, which, as we well remember, was a Canadian first. Had you been offered a year-long mission, would you have taken it?
Oh, absolutely. And there have been astronauts and cosmonauts up there who, because of maybe a problem with the space shuttle or a problem with the Soyuz, have had to stay longer than expected. And occasionally that happens, and everybody's ready for it psychologically. And on my last day, if someone had said, "Hey, I'm sorry, we need you to stay another 6 months," that would have been fine. I love the experience. I would have had a conversation with my family. But you know, it's such a rare human experience. We're starting to really understand our planet and therefore ourselves because of the perspective that it brings. And to be one of the first people that gets to be involved with that, it's a big challenge, it's a big risk, but it's an immense reward at a professional and a personal level. And I'm really looking forward to seeing everything we can glean from what Misha and Scott can bring back from this flight.
Okay. Listen, wonderful. Just before I let you go, we were having an interesting conversation off air before we began speaking as part of our program, talking about how you keep the mind and the body engaged during an extended mission in space. We saw how you did because you tweeted, and we saw, of course, everything from, you know, food experiments to exercise to you on your guitar. That music that you entertained the world with, tell me what's happening with that, Chris?
I've played a lot of music, of course, up there, just as psychological support, but it's a very inspiring place to write music. I wrote a whole suite of music on the space station and recorded it up there, and it's in studio now being produced so that we can release an album of that music, I think, in the fall. So there's always stuff going on, and I think the crossover between the science of space exploration and the artistic way to try and explain it to people is maybe one of the most delightful parts, and I'm pleased to still be involved with that.
Wonderful. We'll look forward to the disc, the book, translated already into 20 languages. Quite a contribution. Thanks, and quite a contribution to us this morning too, Chris. We appreciate it. Good to talk to you as always.
Lovely to talk with you also. Thanks.
And let's show you the scene in Kazakhstan next.